okay, I'm just going to sort of throw this out there. I love coming to Arizona. I love visiting all the different parts. I was just in Tucson and everything. I will say, though, as a state, y'all got to decide which of the restaurants are just fronts. Like, just absolutely not a business at all. I was in Tucson, and we walked into a restaurant that they looked very surprised we could walk in. It seemed... We walk in, and not only are there not any other customers, it's 3 people that are towards the back, towards the kitchen. Not in the kitchen, like outside the kitchen at the last booth, just counting money. If you run a business, your eyes should never be wide when you see a customer. We walk in, everybody, just looking caught. I was with Dave. Dave was like, are y'all open? And in my head, I was like, if you have to ask. And they were like, first of all, if you open, just say yes. This is crazy. They were like, yeah, sit anywhere. Why are you saying it like you just thought of that? Like, then we sit down, and one of them walks up. We never see the other 2 again. The one of them walks up, and he got one menu. And he was like, hey, yeah, I mean, get whatever you want. And then he is gone for a while. He's gone, and like, you could tell he was talking to the other ones, but so everybody whispered. But they're doing the loudest whispering I've heard in a long time. They're doing that panic whispering, because there's whispering where there's like, and then there's the whispering they were doing. It's like, and finally comes back up. He's like, hey, you decided on anything? And I was like, yeah, could we get some guacamole? And he was like, and then he left, and he was gone. He was gone for way longer than it takes to scoop guacamole. Like, I'm not complaining, I'm just noticing. I was like, all right, he already left us for quite a while after he gave us a menu, and now he's been gone for way longer. And then I see him, because in my head I'm like, oh, maybe he's making the guacamole. Maybe they're making it from scratch. Maybe it's one of those places. And sure enough, I see him walk out of the kitchen with a big old metal bowl, and you can hear him stirring the bowl and everything, stirring. And I think he's about to walk to our table, and he doesn't at all. This man walks out of the kitchen, is stirring the bowl, then walks up to the bar and grabbed some salt from the bar and started shaking it in the bowl. And I was like, your kitchen doesn't have salt? Seemed like salt would be the first thing in the kitchen. The only way that could have been worse is if he had walked up to my table and grabbed the salt. Then he went back to the kitchen. And I guess kept stirring. It was a while. It was one of those things where I just started contemplating about how long it really takes to make guacamole. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, would I have made it faster at home? It feels like this restaurant was such a front that when we ordered the guacamole, he went to the back and he was like, listen, I made a list. You gotta go to the grocery store right now. All right, get 2 avocados, get 1 onion, 1 tomato, a little bit of pepper. Where's the salt? And then you finally brought out the guacamole, and it was funny the way he did it, because he clearly made the guacamole, then slid it all into a cup, shook the cup real hard, and then put it down upside down, because it was like a tower of guacamole. It was an upside down cup of guacamole on the plate with the chips all around. And like, this just me noticing. I'm really not complaining, but it wasn't enough chips. It was clearly whatever chips were in the bag that was in the bag, because it wasn't the amount of chips you would need to finish this cup of guacamole stacked upside down. And the chips were interesting. They all had different consistency and everything. At a certain point, here's the thing about a chip for me. When I dip a chip in guacamole, just give it some strength. I hate to dip into guacamole and have it snap in front of me, and then I look crazy. I look like I don't know how to eat. Making me look greedy just because your chip doesn't have strong corners. So, take the chip, scoop some out, doesn't snap, already a good sign. And guacamole was actually phenomenal. It was actually really, really good. It was crazy. And so he was gone for a while, and then he comes back up like 10 minutes later, and he's like, how is it? And we were complimenting, like, this is actually really good. And we shouldn't have said actually, but under the circumstance. You know what I mean? Like, just under the circumstance, that y'all look surprised to see us. So how are we supposed to know the guacamole would be good? You look like you didn't plan on making any today. We were like, this is actually phenomenal. This is really, really good. And he was like, thanks, man. Wow, thank you. And I was like, wait, what? Why do you seem like you really needed to hear that right now? It was crazy. He's like, yeah, man, thank you. Thank you, dog. Appreciate it. Did y'all want to order something else? I will let you know before y'all order any cooked food. Our chef did leave, all right? I don't know when he gonna be back. It's like, all right, yeah, I guess y'all are a regular restaurant. That's fair enough. There's that, and then there's, especially when we were in Tucson, it felt like everybody was kind of trying to be healthy. There was so many like salad bowl places, but then there was an ice cream store next to every salad bowl place. This is the most ice cream stores per capita. There were ice cream stores across the street from each other, like rivals. And then while we were deciding where we were going to eat, after we didn't eat, this dude was on a scooter, and he took a spill, right? He was on a scooter, and I don't know, I've never been a fan of these like bird scooters, these like, the one that you can just, as a pedestrian, hop on and ruin your life. You know what I'm talking about. The scooter that's just parked. You feel like you're stealing it. Like if it didn't take your phone to unlock it, you'd be like, this is a crime I'm doing right now. And how is it built? Remember those scooters from when we were little that just had the brake on the very end of the back wheel? It's somehow that scooter mixed with the throttle from a motorcycle. Because why'd they make them go so fast? You got people driving next to cars on the scooter or just murdering pedestrians. Because there's no tutorial. All you need is a credit card and you could just become a bullet. That's insane. There's no video to watch or anything. You just get off. I'm going to say some things that are a bit conflicting in nature, at least. Like, we saw a guy take a spill on one of these scooters, because why wouldn't you, right? And the way this man crashed didn't make any physical sense. Because he definitely crashed, like went over the handlebars, right? But by the time we turned and saw him, do you remember planking? This man did a mix of planking and a stop motion music video, because he didn't just slide up to us on the ground. He really like his whole body kept trying to stop on the pavement. I know that hurt. Glasses flew off his head. Glasses weren't done flying. I don't know what I said. I was like, oh my gosh. And I don't know. I wish I was a hero. I was one of those type of people that like springs into action. That's not who I am at all. I just kept standing there like, ooh. Wow. You look hurt. It's not good at all. It's not right what I did. And I didn't mean to do anything. And I didn't do anything to help. I just, whoa. It was my buddy picked up his glasses, walked up to him and was like, hey, are you okay? You know, and this is the thing as men, like just as guys, right? For real, just it's okay to be hurt. I don't just mean that in some sort of like metaphorical. I mean like if you get hurt, it is all right to be like, ow. Because we basically watched this man die. But then when we asked him if he was okay, after he got done sliding, and he realized we saw, but we were like, are you all right? This man in front of us just started doing push-ups. Dog, no. You're not gonna convince us that this was part of the plan. That's only a man could like do something like, only a man could like wreck a car, fly out the windshield, wrap himself around a tree, and then grab a branch and be like, one. Like, in what world? You must be out of your mind. Just doing push-ups, and then my buddy walked up with his glasses and then handed him his glasses. He was about to leave his glasses. He was about to get back all this, because here's the thing. This is one thing that I can say I relate to with my man here. When I fall, I also want to make sure that I never see the people who saw me fall again. When I fall, if I fall in front of you, it's either me or you. I gotta kill you now, and I hate that. But one of us has to go. This is too embarrassing. And so my man was about to drive off on the scooter he just fell from. I assume he needs glasses if he's wearing glasses. This man was about to get back on the scooter blind and drive off just to not be in front of us anymore. And my buddy walks up, hands his glasses back to him, and he's like, yeah, that thing got me. Just got me. My buddy was like, the curve? Yeah, it tends to do that. Like, you gotta really pick street or sidewalk. The curb is kind of the only thing keeping those two apart. And then we noticed, like, he actually, you know, from all the sliding, he actually did scrape his chin pretty hard. So his chin was bleeding at them. My buddy even said, he's like, you're bleeding. right? And then he goes, I know. No. You can't out tough blood. I was insane. But I've been having a great time in Arizona. You know? It's been very fun. Can I tell you? It has been cracking me up. Apparently, it looks like Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to step down in January, right? Look, y'all cheer, but that means there's room for somebody crazier. That's so wild. Woo! Next person shows up. You're like, oh, maybe not. Because this is my thing. It is very funny to me that it took this little resistance for Marjorie Taylor Greene to be like, you know what, I'm up out of here. I don't know. The rumor is that Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to run for Senate, and Trump said he wouldn't support her for Senate, that he'd only support if she stayed in her House position. Now, I don't know if that's because of the fact that they need the numbers where they are, or because he doesn't believe that she could win the entire state. Whatever it is, he told her no. And he... And then something changed. He told her no, and then something changed between them. You know what I mean? Like she was like, I think I want to go to the Senate, and Trump said no, and then she was like, oh my God, you're in the Epstein files. Like it was like it was pretty crazy. Because she has been she's been attacked with all the vindictive nature of somebody who wanted something and didn't get it. You know what I mean? Because now she won't like fully come out against him and say like, oh, you are covering up, you specifically. She keeps acting confused. I don't know why. No. If you ever date anybody like Marjorie Taylor Greene, you already know the tactic. I don't know why. Isn't that weird? I think it's kind of funny how, like... Isn't that crazy that he just, like, won't release the Epstein file? Like, and I'm not even saying he did anything. I'm just saying, isn't it crazy that it kind of looks like that because he's, like, protesting too much? Yeah. Nah. And then it came to a head. Then... You know, Trump attacked her back and everything. You know, y'all saw. This woman's crazy. You know, it's what a lot of people say about their exes. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I can't believe she's a lunatic. All this stuff. And then she was like, oh, I'm crazy. That's the thing about calling somebody crazy who might actually be crazy, is that they never take it well, but they take it better than you think they're going to take it. They have a crazy reaction to it. It's like, oh, I'm crazy. Fine. It's like, what does that mean? And then she just kept going. She just kept, beating that Epstein drum. He kept coming after her. Then he called her a traitor. Who would have thought that traitor hurt more than crazy? Do you know what I mean? This man was calling her a lunatic, called her every type of out of her name, out of your mind thing you could say about a person. And then he finally said she was a traitor, and she was like, whoa. I didn't know the gloves were off. That was crazy. Because then she had a press conference. She had a press conference. And then behind her were a bunch of Epstein survivors. Yeah, like a bunch of women who were like, no, we've publicly been calling for the release of Epstein files forever. And then Marjorie standing right in front of them, got the microphones way too high. They should have given her a stool or something. That wasn't... I don't even like her, and that wasn't fair. That was... Is she the shortest person that's ever lived? Why would they do that? That's insane that they even let the... Just one step stool would have fixed that whole situation. They let her walk up... Who knows? Maybe they tried to help her. Maybe they did. Maybe they were like, you really should, to get to the lectern, you should probably have a little steps, do something like that. She was like, now, the truth will make me tall. No, I'm sure she said something like that. And then she got up there. Now she got to talk up. And
the president the president called me a traitor.
Anytime you talk under the mic, you do sound like a munchkin. Like it's just like it does.
The president called me a traitor. Let me tell you what a traitor is.
I was really trying to take her serious the whole time. But you even saw the women behind her be like, oh. And she almost, it was a moment. Look, maybe it's wishful thinking on my part. I'm willing to admit that. But there's a moment where I could swear she almost said president. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a moment she's alluding. She doesn't say it. She still doesn't quite say it. But she's over here.
A traitor is is someone that sells this country out in billions of dollars to Argentina.
Like, Marjorie, just say his name. Who else did that? Do you know what I mean? That's like when you live with a girlfriend, they're like, somebody didn't take out the trash last night. It's like... Well, it's only two of us here, so if you're not saying it's you, why don't you just call me out then? No, and then she said she's stepping down in January. Okay. All right. Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. It is. Because it's like she did, like I will say, so I'm trying to figure out how to put this. She did undergo a lot of harsh treatment from people based on Trump attacking her. Like when Trump attacked her, a lot of like MAGA itself seemed to turn on her. In a way that I'm just saying this as a spectator. Not taking any sides, I'm just saying. It does seem a little weird and unfair that you attack her now when she's like, how about we release the Epstein files? She's getting all sorts of threats and everything, all sorts of attacks and stuff. And then she went on CNN, trying to, I guess, do like some sort of like image rehabilitation or something like that. And she gets on there and she's like, I'm sorry for the toxic politics that I've been a part of. I'm pretty sure it was Data Bash. Data Bash is over here like, all right, well, I have a list to go through. We're not just gonna let you keep it vague like that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, I'm sorry for like the toxic politics I've engaged in. What do you mean? That's most of what you did. Like, that would be like Jeffrey Dahmer coming out and being like, I'm sorry for the bites I took. Like, it's... Whoa, you are grossly understating your impact on the community. This is wild. You know, then she just started going down the list. Like, are you sorry for when you liked a bunch of tweets about putting people to death? And she's like, you know what? I would love to move forward. I already deleted a lot of those tweets. Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, it was very funny to watch to me because I was like, all right, look, maybe she's like changing, or maybe she just really wanted that Senate seat. Like, maybe she's really upset that Senate seat's not going to happen. And then she's asked about that. It's like, I'm hearing that, you know, some of your break from Trump wasn't necessarily a change in ideology. It was the fact that you wanted to run for Senate and he said no. And then she was like, that's absolutely untrue. I haven't even talked to the president about that. And then she talks about how she's been getting all these threats and everything. And look, I will say, nobody should be getting, like, you know, threats online or any of that stuff. Like sometimes it happens to somebody that's not a particularly good person, so you do care a bit less. But overall, no matter who it happens to, the whole idea of being better than the idea of doing something is you actually have to be better. You know what I mean? If you're on the side that's better, you have to be better, you have to act better, and sometimes that just means like not engaging in the thing. It shouldn't be a race to the bottom. And it is wild that people talk about like a violent, radical left all the time, but somebody just sort of like sicked the right on Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she was like, yeah, I think I'm good. I don't know. These people have guns. And it does just blow my mind. That like really took me aback. The irony there. You know? Like okay. I didn't know this dude personally, but there was this story that I was told when I was living in Chicago about this dude that basically, all right, it should make me laugh because I'm glad it happened to me. But there was a guy in Chicago. I used to live in Rogers Park, and there was a dude apparently in like Edgewater area, which is a little bit south of where I lived, that he would rob people, right? And the way he robbed people is he just had like 3 rocks and a sock, and he would just and it is, I don't know, it's like, that's terrifying. That's just, I don't know. I'm not saying a gun would be better, but a gun would be conventional. You know, like, is an upsetting idea that you could be robbed in a sort of David Goliath type situation. You know? Nobody prepares for that. Like, You know what I mean? If somebody has a knife, you like, no, okay, they mean business, right? If somebody got 3 rocks and a sock, you like, are they serious? And so he would rob people, right? And he did this like off and on in the area for like a month and a half. Like people would just talk about it. I used to work at a grocery store that was like in that area, so people would just be talking about it at work and everything. And then finally, there was one day he tried to rob somebody. There's rocks in his sock. But they had a shovel. Apparently they hit him with a shovel and took 5 wallets off of him. That's a version of what Marjorie Taylor Greene must be going through. You know what I mean? It's like she did all this stuff for so long, and now finally she the one getting threats, and she's like, these people are crazy. It's really upsetting stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know where she'll go after this. Because a lot of people move from government to like the private sector. They do a lot of speaking engagements and stuff like that. They do a lot of... I don't know. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, who's gonna hire Marjorie Taylor Greene for a speaking engagement? I mean, I'm sure there's organizations out there that are like, yeah, go up there and tell them how everybody's a lizard. Go ahead.
What you have to understand about the lizard people that they have and wear skin just like ours. They walk amongst us.
No, I've been trying my best to improve, you know. I've been trying to like work out and stuff. I feel like some of my friends that have worked out have seen progress, and I was like, I would like some progress. So I started working out, but nobody tells you, man. Nobody tells you that working out should be something I do more often or not at all. Like it's crazy because you'll want to. I used to want to get big. I used to want to be like a big guy. Every year I have hope. Hope is a hell of a drug. Every year I got hope I'm going to turn it all around this year, you know? And it's like I'm going to be like a bigger dude. And it's not, I don't know. I'm not saying it's not going to happen as I'm going to stop trying. I'm saying it's not going to happen as in I have to accept that I'm done growing. So whatever I do from here on out is just going to be more horizontal than vertical. You know? So it's like, even if I got big now, that'd be bad. I didn't get tall. I'm not tall. So then I would just be wide. So then and a wide, muscular guy is on no one's list. There's no one that's I can't wait to get to that stout, fit man. I love that build of the guy who looked like he worked out for the circus. I love that. It's never been said by anybody. Because you would even, if you got really fit, but you were like, still, I don't know, like regular height to short. It is funny, when you're regular height, like apparently I'm regular height. I didn't even check. Somebody just told me that. But they were told, they did tell me that when I was having a bad day, so it might not even be true. Like it's... I wasn't even bummed out about my height. I was having a bad day. They were like, "You regular height?" And I was like, "That's a weird thing to bring up." But there's no way, like, it just, as a man, there's no way to be regular height. You're short. Because when you even say I'm regular height, that's a short thing to say. Do you know how little you look screaming I'm regular? You look like you lost 6 inches right there. Standing up with your back, because you got your back straight so that you get all your height credit. You know what I mean? Because of back. Are you mad too? Anytime you get mad, but you gotta look up a little, it makes you look shorter than you are too. Like, tall men may always seem like a threat, but at least people take them seriously when they're angry, you know? Like, if you regular height and you get mad and you're like, I'm regular. No, you're a little guy now, you know? And so I've been working out, but it's like, I don't know, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening, you know? Like, you be like, oh, yeah, I'll even see other people's transformation video where they're like, I worked out for 8 months and look at me now and look at me then. And it's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, let's try that. And then you go to the gym and it just hurt. They leave that out, that is gonna just hurt the whole time. Everything you want to do hurt. Like, you want big arms, you're gonna have to hurt your arms for a while. You basically gonna have to hurt your arms 3 times a week. And make sure you eat enough steak but don't have a heart attack. It is crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, get all your protein in. It's like, all right, but what if I'm ready to throw up? Like, I can only eat so much. I'm regular height. You can't fit all the food in you. You need to be bigger. If you want to be bigger with muscle. You could be bigger just in general. You could just start with Oreos and never stop, and then I could be a bigger man that way, yes. But I was trying to do it like all, that back of the arm muscle. You know that one that like flexes when you point? Just try and get one of those. I mean, hopefully 2. You would hate to just have one. Be terrible. Be terrible. You out here working your hardest too. You know, just working, doing pull-ups and pushes. We gotta figure out which one of these exercises work. You know what I mean? Some of them are like functional. Like I understand a deadlift to me makes sense because it's picking up the heavy. That's the dumbest way I could have said it, but it's true. A deadlift is just you pick up heavy. And then if you pick up heavy, strong. This must have been how the cavemen said it. You know what I mean? This must have been how, like, when they were first inventing working out, when they were like, oh, your life isn't that hard, so you're not as strong as us, so if you want to get as strong as us, you have to simulate it. They didn't say simulate, that word wasn't invented yet, but like, you have to simulate it by doing as much work as we do, but just doing it in like little intervals. They wouldn't have said intervals either, but they were just like, pick up big, then strong, right? And then somebody picked it up. Again, and they picked it up again. And then they picked it up to a point where it was easy. And it was like, all right, you're strong now. That is strong, you know? And it's always nice, especially if you're regular height, to be strong. Because nobody expects it. I don't know what it is we do. I don't know why we do this. But there is a certain amount of help needed on the shelf, we assume that person also can't pick up stuff. Because they made, I don't know why they did this, by the way, but they made a shelf at the grocery store that is 1 finger higher than regular height. It's one, because you can touch it. This is extra embarrassing. When you can touch, And now you gotta strategically finger a cereal box. And because you try to use your two fingers. You try to use your two fingers to like clamp the sides and pull. And then pull back, right? But if you can't clamp it, you have to try to slide it and then knock it over on your own head. The amount of times I've knocked a box into my own face, and now somebody turned the corner, I'm standing at the grocery store holding my eye, acting like I'm not hurt. Caught a corner in the eye. Corner of a cereal box. I don't know, why would they do that? It's crazy. Why would you do that? No one likes it. Just stop using that shelf. Put an ad on that shelf. I'll look up. Stop doing that, because then it puts us both in a terrible position. Puts us both in a very bad position, because now I gotta ask a tall man for help. I'd rather die. Now I gotta ask a tall man to help me like I'm his child. I don't know him. And then he gotta help me or else he evil. I do have a tall friend who gets asked all the time for stuff like that, and he doesn't do it at all. And I'm like, you know how many people just wishing death on you? Like, do you know how many people you over here walking down the aisle, and there's just little people. Can you get the pickles? And then you over here, nah, I'm good. And it's like, that's a crazy thing. It's your day. You should be able to do what you want with your day, but that is a crazy way to respond. Somebody needs help because the grocery store ran out of space, I guess, so they had to build up. So they made a skyscraper shelf that nobody can reach up, so that you reach up as hard as you can, and you over here. Trying to caress this jar of pickles so you can hopefully catch some glass in the face. It is terrible. One time, okay, this is really bad. I was furious. There was this one time I was at a grocery store and I just needed some taco seasoning, right? And they put it on the highest shelf in the spice aisle. It's over here. And this was one of those ones where they sell the packets, all the packets individually, but they sell it as an individual thing, even though the box comes with all the packets in it. So then the people that work at the grocery store, I know because I used to do this when I worked at the grocery store, they rip the top of the box and then all of the packets are just in there, right? And so it's at the top of the shelf because somebody is Satan. And so then they put this one in the top. And so I'm reaching up and I'm trying to, the only thing I can think to do is just go ahead and try to get my finger in the box so I can slide the whole thing out, grab one, and then put it back, right? And so I pull the whole thing down. The whole thing starts coming down. I get ready to catch it with my hand, but I guess one of these packets was defective because it was at least like halfway open. So as I look up and I get seasoned in the eyes. The ingredients of some of this taco seasoning is heinous. This is cayenne pepper. This is paprika. This is everything red. Everything red and dry is in the packet. So then I catch seasoning in the eyes. I start screaming, right? Look at that. Look at what y'all done. Now, because y'all wanted this extra shelf, I'm screaming in the spice aisle. Begging for help. No, because now tall person walk by. I hate when somebody tall offer me help too. Get away from me. I'm doing it, all right? Especially, doesn't get me like when I almost got it. Edge is about to slide off the top of the shelf. I almost got it. And then walk up, do you need help? Where were you 45 seconds ago? Now you want to help now that all the work's been done. I don't actually hate tall men. I'm like mostly joking. I am. I do have a friend. He's 6'3", and one time he was crying, and I didn't feel bad for him. Yeah, I mean, I was like, come on, man. What are you so bummed out about? You know what I mean? So sad. Ooh. Because he also cried tall, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was like, he was... and has a deeper register because of, out here crying like he at the top of a beanstalk or something. What are you crying for? Just stand up. Like, as soon as you stand up, be like, oh yeah. No, I understand. I'm clearly joking. Tall people do have problems. Like door frames. Right before the pandemic, I got real fit. That was the fittest I'd ever been in my life. Like, I was running, and it wasn't even an emergency. There's only two reasons to run, from or to. But I was running. Because when I started running, I wasn't good at running at all. And I don't mean that I fell. I could run. Like, I was running. But I wasn't a good runner in that when I would run for exercise, like let's say I was just out having a run, it did look like an emergency to the people who were witnessing me run. Like, they weren't like, he is jogging. They were like, uh-oh. Like, because I don't run well. I run like it's the start of the disaster movie. I run like I found out about the zombies first. And I left everybody and just let them, like the first zombie bit somebody and I was like, okay. And I dipped out. Because the way that I start running is not good. Like the way, because when I start running, because it feels dumb to start running at all. Do you know what I mean? When you're already running, especially if you're like, if you're fit, or if you're just like a general, like, hot person, or if you got a good stride, running looks good on you. You see people, like when people run the marathon and they're doing that like kick as they run, that like, I'm like, what is that? I've never seen somebody run so efficiently, But to start running, and it's not a race. You're just running because you wanted to. This is your workout. And you decide you're going to run today. And, you don't want to start running like it's actual. You don't want to bend down. That seems very dumb. So the way that I start running, it just doesn't look good. It's like I start running like I just started running. Like, it looks bad when you see it. It doesn't help that I look behind me. Yeah, I just start running. There was one time I was running for a workout, and I had been running all week, so I had been doing a couple miles all week. So by this like 5th, 6th day, I was actually super comfortable with running. I didn't feel as dumb doing it because I had been doing it for so long. I was like, I'm getting there. I get a couple miles in every day, get home, I've worked out. This is great, right? And then I was like, you know what I'm going to do? Now that I've built up a sort of tolerance around getting started, I got my confidence up, I'm going to try to run faster and a little further than I have the other days. I think this is how people get fit. And so I take off, right? And I take off exactly like we talked about. This is still how I start running. Right? But I take off running, and as I take off running, I start like kicking
try and do the like stride kick I see the runners do in the marathon or in like clips on Instagram, stuff like that. I'm really trying to run. And then I'm picking up speed because I'm like, look, I can stop running whenever I want. So I might as well run as hard as I can, right? And so I was running. Then I noticed this guy behind me. And it was like he was running the same way that I was running. So I was like, oh, I wonder if that Forrest Gump thing is happening. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if I'm oozing so much confidence I hadn't got a follower. And so then I start running a little harder, and then he's also running behind me a little bit harder, and we're both running in a way that like we're running together, but we're still decently apart and everything. And finally, I'm starting to get a little tired. I'm like, okay, I mean, I don't want to let him down, but I do want to stop now. Like I'm not built for the Forrest Gump thing at all. Like, I don't think I could run long enough to start an entire run club or anything like that. I really didn't even want to do 2 miles, but I keep running, and now I'm like panting, but now I'm really pushing. And then they talk about hitting a wall and like a runner's high and stuff like that. I didn't feel any of that. It was all pain. It was all just like, I got that stitch in my side, like where your side starts to stab you because it's like, what are you doing? Why are you running, stupid? We're not meant to run. Sit down. And so then my side starts hurting, but then I'm holding my side as I'm running, which then looks really bad. Like, if it looked bad when I start running, seeing me run, And then I finally slow down enough that this guy catches up to me. And I'm winded, and he's winded too. I'm like, oh, okay, so he's just like me. We're both getting started running. This is amazing. I've made a friend. Running. This I've all said in my head. I'm too winded to speak. But I'm like doubled over. He's doubled over. And then finally he says something. He's like, what was it? I was like, what was what? He was like, what did you see? What do you mean? He's like, I saw you and I thought something bad must have happened. You know who works out hard? Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think that makes her even scarier because it's like, usually when you meet somebody who believes a bunch of conspiracy theories, they've been like, you know what I mean? And separated from society and in a basement for too long. You never meet anybody strong who's like, hey, have you heard about the lizard people? Okay, all right. This is very uncomfortable because you could also kill me. Like, there's a young woman named Riley Gaines, right? And Riley Gaines is famous because she was a swimmer, and basically in, I guess, the biggest competition of her life, she placed 5th, and a trans woman placed 4th. And so she's like, oh, if that athlete was not in the race, I would have qualified and gone on to the next stage. And that's like the hill she's dying on. That's like that started her political career, and then that's why she gets invited to all these speaking engagements. And it is wild to me that you would tell so many people you were never going to win. Like, that's
That's crazy. Because here's the thing. Fifth means you weren't close. Fifth is crazy. Like, that's, you know what I mean? You don't even have a silver medal type of bone to pick. It's like they don't make podiums for where you were gonna place. Even if this person was not in your way, all right, you still can't swim as good as other people. Like, to be fair, look, I can't swim at all. I'm not a swimmer, right? I'm not a swimmer at all. I'm trying to learn, but it feels like I'm fighting the water when I'm in there. But I don't broadcast it. You know what I mean? I'm telling you right now, for the sake of the conversation that we're having, that I can't swim. But I don't do speaking engagements where I'm like, I can't even swim that well. Pay me. Pay me money because I came in fifth, which is not close to first. Man. It's like, and just, I don't know, it's like, because there's a very, there's a very hateful approach to a lot of the things that she says. And it's like, but you, in theory, wouldn't you be thanking this person? Because this person, that's the reason that you say you came in fifth. If they weren't there, you would have come in fourth. And then you just wouldn't be that great of a swimmer. You'd have nothing to talk about. This person gave you a career. Now you can travel the country being like, I can't believe I came in fifth because of this trans person. This trans person is why I came in fifth. Because no one would give you money for a speaking engagement if you were like, I came in fourth against all these cis women. What's someone gonna do about that? Just throwing it out there. Oh, you weren't close. Fifth is, like, look, I'm not saying fifth is bad. I would have come in last. But fifth is not close to, there's several people. There's several people between you and winning. A substantial amount of people. There were enough people in between you and winning to pull you out of the water if you were drowning. Like, that's a crazy amount of distance between you and number one. That's just a fact. It's a fact that you admit when you do speaking engagements where you're like, oh, I was so close to kind of qualifying. And that's just because they take the top four. If they decide to take the top three, you'd be even further from, I don't know, it's a lot of money to make to be a failure. Like, your whole thing is swimming. Your whole thing is swimming, and you didn't do it. Like, you swam, like, you didn't drown, but, like, you... It just feels like that's what a lot of this stuff is, you know? It's a lot of an attachment to someone to blame for something you were never going to get anyway. You know? Like, that's what a lot of it is. It's like sometimes I'll see people, even with the idea of like taking jobs, right? Oh, they're coming to this country, they're taking the jobs, and it's like, yeah, okay, they're taking the jobs. What do you do? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's weird when it's like an assistant manager at like a Wendy's being like, they're taking the jobs. It's like, yeah, but not this job. Like, what's... Like, some of the people that are so mad, I'm like, yes, but they are not in between you and the thing that you want.
The person in between you and the thing that you want is the person who already has it. Is someone doing better than you? Is someone doing better than you that has it? So if you wanted a better job, the person that you should be mad at is the person that gives out the better jobs. The person who is willing to do any job is doing worse than you. It's weird to blame them when they don't affect you at all. Not like that. So then the person you should be mad at is the person who is keeping, and they planned it. They planned this whole thing. They made it so that you would blame this person, because when you do, you're not looking up at who's holding up all the stuff over your head. You should be mad at them up here, the way that you would get mad at like a tall person walking up to you as you're like trying so hard. You're trying to pinch as hard as you can, like just a better job, just more opportunity. And they're like, hey, you want some help? Do you feel like some help? No. How you gonna get mad at somebody doing worse than you? They're not keeping you from anything, you know? It's like getting mad at the bottom shelf because you couldn't reach the top. I mean, it's like... It's like getting mad that you're in 5th place when you were never going to be first. I just can't get over that. Because I remember the first time I heard about Riley Gaines, and I genuinely, what I thought happened was that she was second. And then a trans athlete came in first, and she was like, oh, you stole from me. You know what I mean? And then when I heard that they don't even make a type of medal for the position she came in, it goes gold, silver, bronze. I guess you could give 4th place like aluminum or something, and then you could give 5th place like wood, maybe. You got the wooden medal in swimming. You got the waterlogged medal in swimming. Yeah. No, it blows my mind. It just feels like so much of what politics is based off of is that thing. You are keeping me from what I want. I want this. You are the reason that I'm not getting it. Not the politician. Not the person who like signs bills into law. There's just like this person over there, somehow more powerful than the person who had to be sworn in and get all these votes and have all this money and has donors and has people who call them that they better pick up the phone for, you know. That person, not as powerful as random person from another country, you know. Because it's not just about immigrants, it's everybody. It's every type of other. And it's every type of other until there is no other. Because then you'll see it sometimes happen. It does happen on like a final phase level to white women the most. Like hardcore conservative white women who are in the room helping make decisions and everything. There will eventually be a thing where, for whatever reason, you're around a bunch of other conservative men, and then they want you out of the room. There's only so many spots, and you can't take up a spot. You're not really one of us. You're an other. And you're like, no, but I'm not an other. It's like, you are. No, you are. You are. And you'll know it at like the worst time. It'll be like when you finally want something. You've done everything that you're supposed to do. You voted the right way. You said all the right things. You hold all the right beliefs. You do everything that you're told to do, from whether it's from a young age, you grew up in a conservative family, or you have these conservative values, and you're doing everything that you're supposed to do. You're doing everything towards the sort of life and country that you want. And then you finally want something, but maybe you want something that's a little bit out of your place to have. You know, maybe you want to step into a position that other people don't want to see you in, right? Maybe you want to be like a senator, and right now you're a House rep, and so then they tell you no. I know you've campaigned for me. I know you've spent millions of your own money trying to help me. I know that you've had my back every step of the way, but like, no, come on, no. And maybe it's not because you're a woman. Maybe it's because you're out of your mind. But like no, just no. And do with that what you will. And then she's like, oh my God, you're in the Epstein files. No, I can't believe it. Oh my God. Phoenix, y'all been phenomenal. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It does seem like we are held captive right now in someone's grandma's house.
Yeah, if you see the video, yeah, it does. Yeah, specifically a grandma hostage taker is what we have.
Yeah, it looks like we're being kept well fed and entertained with stories. I can't tell if the stories of the torture or the reprieve from the torture, but we know a lot about harmonica playing from the 1920s. A lot about someone named Thurston.
Yep. What soda pop used to cost in the 60s. We know that now.
Also a lot of glass doors, so this is probably one of the most escapable prisons I've ever been in.
Yeah, that's true. This just slides right open. That's not.
Yeah.
No, this is it's strange because the camera's pretty far away if you're watching the video, and the futon we're on. The only way to really sit comfortably was for us to slump back like this.
This futon is so uncomfortable, you can tell no one's ever had sex on it.
Or too many people have had sex on it.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
I feel like this one is even the way I'm sitting right now, this is just regular sitting with regular legs that are just both the feet touching the ground and the ass touching the back of the futon.
Yeah.
And I'm so deeply uncomfortable right now that there's no way someone had pleasurable intercourse on this thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep like having no way of like feeling and looking comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, this is an Airbnb, so neither one of us will have to deal with this situation much longer. But
yeah, this is the second one. This is not the one I was in last week. This one is better. So I know we're not giving it a great review.
It already looks better.
It looks better.
They have a blender.
They do. They have a blender, but they don't have a coffee maker, which is an issue for me. But it's all right. I've been doing instant coffee, and I made it work. But I just feel like that's one of like the things to put. Like they have that in shitty hotels, have coffee makers.
Which I don't get, because if you're in a really bad hotel, why would you want to be awake for it? I'm just saying. It's like
fair.
It's weird that they give you coffee so you can stay awake and realize what a terrible motel you're in.
If you go to sleep, then you realize how bad the bed is and that it needs to be cleaned.
Not if you're fully asleep.
Yeah.
If you're unconscious, you're like, it's not until you wake up that you're like, oh, wait, my life is not.
Do you remember we were on the road not too long ago and I just picked up the covers and you could see the light go through the covers and you could see how nasty like the inside of the quilt was?
Yeah, so, okay, how's the best way to explain this?
I feel weird being way closer than you, but I think I'm more comfortable sitting like this. Is that weirder?
It's only weirder because from here you look like you're doing a TikTok about me talking.
I think I'm out. Yeah, I'm reacting to you, and
Yeah.
I set my shot out of focus because I'm out of focus. Just something like this. This is just not great when you're a big guy to be like, yeah, I want to just lean into the shot gut first is what I really want. And it doesn't help too that the lighting is making me look like, I don't know, the Wall. Look at that. There's no chance.
Yeah, you do look like Wall.
Hopefully I do some color correction on this. Anyway, sorry, not to be too visual, but that took some doing to set up, and we're both so warm.
So,
But yeah, sorry, the thing you were setting up.
Oh, I don't even remember what that is.
The blanket thing, whatever.
Oh no, just the blanket. So we were on the road, and Logan lifted up his sheet,
Just the quilt. Yeah, it was like the
And-
top quilt.
and wow, the light that went through it revealed what's the best way to describe it? The guts of the quilt.
Yeah, the innards.
Yeah.
The
So
meat?
all of the quilt intestines were fully loose.
Quilt testins? I know you hate when I try for a pun, but I felt like that's the closest I was gonna get. Quilt testins.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, because it was like I guess like the feathers in it. I don't know if it was like a down blanket, but it had like the feathers in it. But you could see like where the stuffing, how little of it was left. Excuse me, how little of it was left, and how orange it was.
Oh yeah, it was like deep orange to where I thought it was.
And the blanket was not orange. The blanket was white.
I thought it was washed blood. It was so orange.
Yeah, it looked weird.
Yeah.
It was a strange.
And that's one of those things where anytime something is well lived in, it's not going to be great.
It's a nice way to put it. Well lived in.
It like anytime it's been used a lot, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be. I'm sure it used to be so thick you couldn't see through it with fluffy amounts of feather that felt like a cloud laying on your chest. And by the time we stayed there, years after this hotel had been opened,
Right.
it felt like instead of sleeping on a cloud, it felt like an angel fell out of heaven, but the actual impact of them hitting pavement is what the quilt felt like. It just felt like
Right.
you know.
Lucifer's blanket.
I mean, it wasn't hot. It was just
Well, but I mean, when he
deeply
first
uncomfortable.
fell.
From
Is
okay,
what I was saying.
gotcha.
The OG fallen angel, the original.
Yeah, we also might be having heat stroke.
Oh, I am not doubting that at all.
You could probably tell, even listening to the recording, that we're both deeply uncomfortable, and that's probably I can't think of a thing that is more likely to be happening right now than me being a bit overheated, pretty tired, and maybe blurred vision.
Yeah. It's like I feel bad that this is what I've been talking about all week. Not necessarily on the podcast, but like just when I've done to people when I've done sets and stuff, but it's so fucking hot. And I mean, I know it's like not just in New York, the world, because the UK set their records. I can't remember if we talked about that last episode, but it's like this is a heat wave for the planet. And I'm staying in places that don't really have AC. This one does, but it's really just the window unit in the bedroom.
I wonder if it's a heat
I chose
wave
wrong
for the places that are like known to be cold. So if there's people right now in places that are usually cold and they're like, I only had to wear one jacket. It is burning up out here.
I mean, that's kind of how it is. Like
in what, Alaska?
Sometimes. I mean, in the Midwest, hell, like Iowa, Minnesota, like. So
I guess I never count.
Not so much in the summer, but
yeah, I never really count the Midwest because in my mind, it's like meant to be hot sometimes there.
True.
I'm talking about places that are always cold.
Well, in the Midwest too is like a muggy hot too. We get humid too. So when it gets hot, like I'm sure. I mean, hell, Louisiana has to be the same. It probably gets muggy as hell down there, right?
The heat stroke in Louisiana is pretty funny because. I mean, we could cut all that early stuff out and just get right to this in the episode. The heat stroke in Louisiana is very funny to watch because it's like some people, there's no difference.
Why do some people write in and call me a monster and not you?
That's
what I don't understand. You just said watching heat stroke is funny, and people write in and be like, Logan's a fucking monster. I'm like, I've never laughed at heat stroke.
I mean, you did when I said it.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I'm just saying there are some
but
people.
I'm a bystander. Still, I'm still a witness, not the doer of the crime.
There are some people that you could talk to where you're like, dang, you had a full stroke in front of me and I didn't notice. Like just the way that you talk and how you carry yourself is already a little slurred, you know?
I did your show on Wednesday, and I know you were at a different show, and I walked up there. Our friend Rob was there. He said I got up on stage and turned around, and just in that time, I was sweating. So first off, I just turned around and was sweat. And then at one point, I tried to say I currently live in the Midwest, and what came out was I live Midwest.
Yeah.
Is all I
Yeah.
said. I said I live Midwest.
But you see, your heat stroke is noticeable because of how you talk normally. But when you get someone who's like,
Like a Cajun accent.
yeah, when you get somebody with some drawl, that sounds like heat stroke.
No matter when. No matter
Yeah,
when it's
that's how. Like if you get
It's
someone,
December and you're like, are you tired? Did you?
yeah, if you get someone that's like, you don't even know what the boys over there was saying, man. You know with them boys, you know over there with them boys.
Yeah.
You know there with them boys. It's hot out here with the with boys. Oh, you done been before with the boys.
Boys.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I got rope out.
I need some water and go to the bayou.
Wow.
And then before you know it, they're like slumped over, and you're like, "Hey, is he okay?" Like I've watched heat stroke happen in front of me to other people,
Yeah.
and not known the signs right away. Like I had to learn them when I was pretty young, and then
Are you having heat stroke or are you just Southern?
yeah, 100%, man. Like I think that I think that sadly right now in this moment in life, I'm putting together how much a few accents and dialects out there sound like heat stroke.
Yeah. Name the other ones. Go ahead. Take our show there. Let's get a new fan base. Let's go and become edgelords.
No, I just mean like I think that there are people that I grew up around, especially people in like more of the rural area that had a lot of that French. Slang,
yeah.
Would have the drawl to pull off some
Oh,
really
yeah.
like slow talking that you can't quite understand.
Yeah.
So it's one thing when someone's speaking a different language and they're speaking so fast that even if I spoke that language, I'd need subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very different when someone's speaking slowly and you're still like, oh no,
I'm still lost.
I don't know what is being said at all.
Yeah.
Especially when it's directions. I've been in the car with people where we get a little bit lost and maybe we're in Ball or something like that, and you know,
In Ball, is that a town?
Ball, Louisiana, yeah.
Okay.
And so they're just parts of Louisiana where if you get lost and you
That's
ask
where you
someone
live
for
now?
directions, they will get you more lost because you don't understand them.
And they're
at
probably
all.
using like local references. When you see the blank, then you.
Not only will
I'm
they use
so
local
fucking hot.
references, but they'll also be like they'll tell you a colloquialism you've never heard before.
Oh, I love that. When you
So,
encounter that
like-
in the wild, a new phrase you've never heard.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, you take a stone's throw this far, and then you could just take a left, and then just spitting distance after that. And you're like, these are all.
You just give one.
These are all like bodily function things that I don't know how that means
you,
for a car.
You see this, then you just do a little turtle shuffle to the left.
Yeah.
That's
No.
interesting.
No, it's pretty bad. In lieu of us doing like Scare B&B last episode,
Right.
I just remembered there were a couple of things that we had previously like not really touched on specifically when we did some of those old review episodes.
Oh, okay.
And there's just a couple of ones I remembered from some restaurants that like were spillover from. Remember that episode we did?
Yeah.
Okay. And it just made me laugh because we ordered Seamless before we started recording everything because neither one of us had eaten.
Yeah, we're like, let's get hot and full.
Yeah, hot and full is a great
That'll
recipe
be good.
for
That'll be
energy.
good for the show. Let's get hot and full, and let's really lean back.
Yeah,
literally get comfy, sit back with a full tum-tum.
It would be wild if there's just 30 minutes of this episode where neither one of us are saying anything because we've quickly fallen asleep.
Yeah, or we are having heat stroke and are only understanding each other.
Honestly, if I was having heat stroke right now, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. Like, does it come all at once, or what's?
I've seen it happen playing football.
I mean, I've seen it happen
No, I
to
know.
other people, but
It is weird because
what does
sometimes
it feel like.
Well, see, the weird one, I can't remember if I've talked about it on the show before. We'll get back to these restaurants, but I can't remember if we talked about it on the show. But when I saw my friend get heat stroke during a football practice, and he stuck with it for a while, and like he says he does not remember like the latter half of the practice really, or like once we got to like the real big conditioning stuff at the end. And he was going hard to the point to where we were doing like up downs, and he kept going, and they blew the whistle and we stopped, and he did like 3 more, and we were all like, "Hey, Tom, you can quit." And he's just like, ugh, ugh. And he was just like his body had taken over, but his mind was no longer there until we went to like have our final like, breakdown meeting, and he runs up and just falls over. And then he tried to get his pads off, and no one noticed, but he got his pads off, and then they just got stuck. So he was just laying on the ground with his shoulder pads over his head. And I had to give I think I've definitely talked about this on the show, but then I had to give the on deck speech that night, which is especially like cycles through the seniors and juniors, and you give like a little like speech, like a fucking let's go get him or whatever. And I was slurring, and my vision was blurred. So I think I was having heat stroke too. And I had a speech prepared, and it was all gone. I just went there. I'm like, look at this football, and the team because we're playing, and we need, and let's so let's go. And then I said like fuck a few times in it, so I had to run a fence and back too while having heat stroke. Because if you swear, you got to run a fence and back.
Was your coach? I know we've also touched on this. We're gonna get to the restaurants.
Yeah, sorry,
but was your coach fit?
Yeah, they were all pretty fit, mostly.
Like, in my opinion, you can't coach football unless you're fit.
Unless you do
There's
it too.
There's nothing like
an
out of shape guy telling me to run.
Yeah, no,
that makes me angrier.
They were all pretty fit.
You do it with me then.
Right,
you need it.
Yeah, you go.
I'm out of shape from just being young and not knowing how to be in shape.
Right.
You actually are teetering into some health problems.
They were all in pretty good shape. And that was my biggest thing too, is it wasn't until years later, actually until I started, because I teach with a lot of them now. When I sub at that school. So like most of my coaches are all still there. And I teach with them, and I kind of realize how not old they are. And so I realized that they were all like fucking 25 when I was in high school, which makes me angry now retroactively to be like, I cared so much what these fucking 25-year-olds thought. And now there's no person's opinion I value less than a 25-year-old.
Yeah. What is it like now that because the thing with decades is that teens to 20s feels like a huge gap.
Yes.
And 20s to 30s also feels like a big gap.
Absolutely.
But 30s to 40s and 40s to 50s feels like you're all just adults now.
Yeah.
So now that you're teaching with them, how do you perceive that relationship of like, does it feel like time has shrunk between the two of you?
Like, what do you mean time has shrunk between us?
So if someone's 15 and then someone's 25, I can see a 15-year-old very much trying to impress a 25-year-old.
They look way older than you and feel just way more worldly than you.
That's what I'm saying. But now, if you're 35 and they're 45, does it feel like there's almost no time between the two of you now?
Kind of, yeah. We all feel. I think it's also too because they all, at least if they haven't seen me do stand up, and some of them have, but a lot of them know of my career and living in Chicago and stuff. So I think they also. Not that it's like necessarily a respect thing, but they are aware that like I'm doing shit they've never done. You know what I mean? So I think there's a little more of like they're actually interested in my life, and because when you're in high school and you are in a small town in Iowa, you're not that interesting to talk to. You haven't done anything,
Gotcha.
You're a kid in a small town in the middle of nowhere. So I mean, yeah, I feel much more. I think it's also too Not that I don't care what they think. I respect all of them, and I still think they're all good guys. I just have a way different relationship with them now, where it's like now I'm like, oh, I'm a guy they want to talk to now, It's not just me trying to impress them. I'm also like, oh, a guy they like knowing, most of them. Mm-hmm. So
no, that makes sense. Because I'm just thinking about that, how if you knew someone when you were 18 and they were 28, that feels like worlds apart. But then if you're 48 and they're 58, it's like, all right, one of y'all get better prices at movie theaters. That's about it.
Right, yeah.
As far as like life differences.
No, for sure. For sure. And I guess it's more too, it's not even so much that like when I think back, I'm like, oh, why did I care what they thought? It's like, well, they were my coaches and my teachers. You want them to like you. But it's more, I'm like, oh, I wish I had my view of them that I have now, which I'm like, oh, they're just a guy. Like, yeah, I had to impress them and do stuff for them, but it's also like...
Yeah, I go back and forth on that because here's the thing. When you look at an accomplished person or a person in a position of authority or any of that stuff, when you look at all of them as just a dude, right?
Right.
That's more realistic and it's helpful for perspective, but what it robs you of a little bit is like, if something is special to you and you want that thing and then you want to do it better than the person that you look up to, they can't just be another guy, if that makes sense. They kind of have to have this little like air around them.
Well, and I have that. There were teachers who were older than them. Those were like the teachers who were like whoa, those guys are so fucking smart. And like those are the ones I still look at as like the geniuses I knew. And these guys are all smart. It sounds like I'm really bashing the people who are my coaches, and I'm not. I respect all of them and I like them all a lot. But I think I was trying so hard to be like a kid they liked, especially because too, like my older brother was like, they fucking loved him. He was such an amazing student and a really great athlete and stuff too. And I was fine in both categories, So it's like, I'm like, I just want to be liked. And I was more doing that rather than like pursuing stuff because I wanted to be good at it, or, you know what I mean? That's what I mean by it.
Gotcha.
Where it's like, and then that's an ice cream truck going by again. That's 2 episodes in a row that we've had an ice cream truck going
this
right by.
neighborhood love ice cream.
This neighborhood does love ice cream.
This neighborhood, they got, it's sad.
I hear it everywhere I go in Brooklyn.
There's so much ice cream in Brooklyn. Nobody really can run for the ice cream truck. Like if you miss them, you're just gonna have to get them tomorrow.
I mean, it sounds like they go slow. So, because I hear them in just the one block for a long time.
Yeah, I remember one time the ice cream.
What
truck.
did we just talk about for a long time? Was I rambling about my coaches?
Yeah.
God, I'm in my 30s. What is happening?
So one time, and we're gonna get to the restaurants, I promise. One time.
Oh, I hope we don't.
When I was in Louisiana, I was like a teenager, and this is when I would do cross country. My mom gave me a key, so when I got dropped off from school and from practice, I could just go in the house. Because it was when I was like old enough that she didn't need to take me to the library after school every day.
Yeah.
And so, sure enough, man, oof. I remember I got dropped off at home. I went inside and was playing with Rocky or something, and then the ice cream truck for the neighborhood broke down in front of my house.
Oh, shit.
But they just never turned the music off. And so they just were camped out trying to get like someone to bring a tire out and everything.
Yeah.
And selling ice cream the whole time. So for them, it's just business. But for me, it's like 2.5 hours of the same ice cream truck music. And you know what's crazy? So I didn't have any noise canceling anything, and so all I could do was loud. Like I could just play music.
All I could do was loud.
All I could do was loud to combat it. I couldn't noise cancel. I couldn't Bose it. I didn't have that type of money, and so I could just get loud so that I didn't have to hear it.
All I could do is loud. It pleased me. I lived Midwest. All I could do was loud.
I'm just saying that loud does not. It still penetrated the volume,
right?
Which is crazy because I was blaring stuff. Because after the first 20 minutes, I'm like, man, I hope that because they had clearly broken down. Like you saw the guy,
right?
His wheel was in a weird position, and he was like not quite out of the street.
I wonder if there's something like scientific to the music of those things. Like if they're at a perfect frequency that they can cut through anything.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, it should be illegal because it's so infuriating. I was getting so angry. And the first 20 minutes, I was tolerating it because I was like, that guy's probably having a hard day. Like, I was actually trying to be empathetic. Like, that dude's probably having a hard day and everything. And then after, like, the first 40 minutes, I was like, he's at least got to turn the music off, right? Like, I can't be the only one. Like, I even looked out the window at my neighbor's house to see if anybody else was looking out the window to see if anybody else was, like, stressed about
Surely
this.
the neighborhood is infuriated right now.
I was like, surely these people don't love ice cream so much that they need the music while they lick the cone.
It's not special. Then I can just go to a store.
I was getting
know?
furious. And then after the first hour, I was like, I need to do something. And so I had little earbuds, but they were terrible. They were like the cheap earbuds.
Well, and even just because how old were you?
Like 13, 14.
Yeah, see, at that age too, like earbud technology was not great because even the early like good earbuds hurt your head.
Yeah, they really like stretched that. You be walking around with some loose ears.
Yeah, they were not built for ear shape at all. They didn't realize it.
They were just so excited that music came through the wires that they were like, leave it.
Yeah, cram these circles into your ears.
And so that didn't work because even though I was listening to music so much it was hurting my ears, I could still hear the like, hello. And so then I was like doing a hum on top of the music. So that I did that. So I was just like, the entire time the music was playing. And it was still cutting through. This is like the telltale heart of ice cream.
Yeah, you truly lost your mind there.
And then I was like,
with earbuds and blaring music, screaming to yourself.
Dude, it was like an hour though.
I know. The best would be then if the music stopped and then everyone outside is just hearing, "Mah!" And they're like, oh shit, turn it back on.
Nah. At an hour and a half, I take out the earbud because now my head just hurts. I have like a headache from how loud the music was.
Well, just humming too, it's gonna hurt.
I turn the TV on. I turn it on full volume. So like, you know those levels that's ridiculous to let a TV go to, like that, like those volumes that go to 80.
Yeah,
I'm at like 77, and I'm just blaring the, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That Spider-Man just going. But then that's not even enough consistent audio to be cutting out.
They say that a hero can save.
We're not even there yet. We're not even to like the credits.
Oh, that's just the soundtrack. It's the movie, yeah.
This is the movie. And so even the slow parts.
Yeah, careful that you don't unplug that, please.
Oh, yeah. No, it's just even the slow parts are just straight up blaring. Now the ice cream music seems louder because the movie is so loud. So I'm like, anytime I can hear it I'm like, did he turn up the volume as well?
I just love too the ice cream music in the background and then Green Goblin laughing over it. Like, there fucking is again. There's the y'all talking shit.
But look, wait. This thing. So you see how it started again?
It dips. Yeah, if you can't hear it, sorry, the music stopped for a second because we're hearing the truck go back again.
Yeah. Now, what they did in Louisiana in my neighborhood was they were like, and they do it again and again and again, and then it stopped, and then you would hear, hello.
That's what I was wondering because you said that and I understood that you meant like that's how it played in your thing, but that sounds genuinely alarming.
No, it's horrible. It's so bad, and so that's also happening.
That sounds like Pennywise
for 2.5 hours.
Hello, do.
I've never in my life wanted to brandish a gun.
Wow,
more than when I hit the 2-hour mark. Of that ice cream music, because I was just like, guys, this is now everyone in the neighborhood that's gonna buy ice cream has bought ice cream. You're not weighing anybody else down,
right?
Like you're not leaning on them hard enough for them to come out of their house and be like anything to make the music stop. Everybody that's bought ice cream is gonna buy ice cream.
Anything to make the music stop.
Just turn it off.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd their business do though? Did a lot of people swarm the truck?
They got swarmed at first, but then this is my problem. Everyone that swarms you lives here. You were
Fair.
already driving around the neighborhood. You were going to get them anyway.
Oh, that meant there was some kids a few blocks away who were really excited for 2 hours for the truck to get to their house.
Yeah, I guess so.
They just stood there
I
waiting.
guess they just sat there like,
Just outside.
any minute now.
It's got to be coming.
Yeah, my mom doesn't like me walking to the
Yeah.
edge of the street, so
So I got to stay here and wait. It's so hot out here.
yeah.
I got the money crumpled up in my hand, and I just want them to. Why won't it come?
Have you ever seen the fire hydrant get open? Like,
Not get opened. I've seen it open, but yeah.
oh no. I've watched it
never-
this year especially. They're popping hydrants hard.
Oh, I've been seeing a lot of them already going, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen like the process.
yeah. Oof. There was one guy who popped it open. I was about to close it, and a guy ran up and he was like, "Hey, just give me a minute."
Go ahead.
And then took like a full shower
Just
with
let
the
me-
hydrant. Like people had stopped playing in it, so the guy was about to close it, and he was like, "Hey, let me do my thing." And
just let me cool off a bit. There we go.
man, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, it has been a hot couple weeks out here. I'm sure it is just everywhere, but you get that, I don't know, that New York sweat's a different sweat. I will say that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. No, I spent this whole time thinking I left Louisiana.
Yeah. That's the thing.
It's like almost as bad.
Like I've been in like LA when it's hot, but it's that, I think it's just that desert hot. It's a little more dry. There's an ocean nearby. I mean, I guess there's an ocean nearby here too, but it hates us. I don't know. It must just be the tall ass buildings and all the concrete. It must just be that. It just it turns into one big hot rock.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even imagine what I'll do if this continues.
I have like every time I get back from doing something, I get home and I have to peel off a wet shirt and then just, I don't know, just try anything.
It's like, because you can't move. You can't move from Earth, so
You can't move from Earth.
we're just here.
Yeah, I thought we had more time before the end was coming, but boy, she's barreling forward at us.
Oh my god! It's like
This can't be a good podcast to listen to, can it?
I mean, we've got out of the 30 minutes we've been recording, we have 20 minutes that are very entertaining.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Just checking.
yeah. It won't be until you listen back that you know for sure, but the parts that you've laughed have been funny.
I know. I was just joking because it's just us constantly being like, "Oh, it's so hot."
Yeah, but it's also
Oh,
hot
God.
for them listening.
That's true. That's
if
true.
they listen to this in the winter of 2023, it's gonna look like a misstep. It's gonna look like, wow, they really cared about what was going on in their life at that moment.
Yeah.
That,
Always check the date of the podcast episode you're listening to just for some general context. You know what I mean? It's like when I was like finding new podcasts to listen to and then you that started a few years back and then you catch up to like 2020 and it's always like the show changes completely and everyone sounds a little more confused and sad. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's how we were all thinking then.
Yeah. It's so hot in here. I'm almost positive every one of these plants is fake.
That's a good point.
There's no way they're alive.
No, that one's definitely fake. Probably those ones too. That one, I mean, yeah, that one looks plastic.
Yeah, for those of y'all who can't see, which is everyone watching.
Because even if you're watching, they're off camera.
There are 5 plants in here, and I'm almost positive that 4 of them are fake. And the only reason that bothers me is that...
Well, also, I'm not watering them, so I hope they're fake. No one's sneaking in here to give them water.
I don't like the stolen valor of fake plants.
The stolen valor of fake plants.
Let me just explain. So
I'm very
there
excited.
are
We're going to get to
people-
the restaurant reviews in a second.
there are people out there that take care of plants in their home. They keep them alive.
Yep.
They keep the oxygen in the apartment fresher.
Sure.
All right. And they show responsibility for caring for a living thing. Then there are other people who are like, let me just take all of that and buy something plastic for $6.
Yeah.
And put it in the same place I would put the real plant.
I like to think of it as an action figure of a plant.
I think of it as plant taxidermy, and it's disgusting.
Plantsodermy. Come on, that one was right there. I knew you were going to hate that one, too.
Honestly, if the seat on this futon wasn't backwards and I wasn't sunken in, I would get up right now.
Say if I had any strength at all, I'd storm away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jess has been, I can't remember if we've talked about this, but Jess has been a little plant crazy these days.
Really?
We got a lot of plants in the fucking house now. And it's like, it's okay. I'm fine with it. But it's like, it seems like anytime we go anywhere. We were here in New York when she was here with me. And we walked by somewhere and she was like, ooh, I could get this. I'm like, no, you can't. That's not going to fit in your carry-on. What are you doing? You're not going to buy plants here. She's like, well, they might ship it. I'm like, or we'll just find it where we live. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, New York doesn't have any special plants.
And exactly. And the time we've shipped plants, they get all fucked up. So she's done it before. They show up not happy because it turns out plants don't love living in a box for a couple days.
So when I was taking the bus,
Yeah.
this is like maybe 2 years ago because this was so close. I was taking the bus to do a show 3 years ago, I guess, because it would have been 2019.
Yeah.
Taking the bus to do a quick spot in Connecticut.
Okay.
And I was like, I was on the bus, and the whole time I was on the bus, I was like, I should have just taken the train. I feel that way every time I take a bus. I'm like, the train, sometimes the train is not quicker. A lot of people think that the train's going to be quicker because it's like a straight shot and there shouldn't be any traffic or anything. Mm-hmm. But sometimes there is. Sometimes something happens with a train that's an hour ahead of you.
And it's the only one path it can really take.
It's the one path you can take, so then it does delay you by 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Like, it's a misconception that the train is just always on time. They love to be on time, but they're not always.
Right.
Anyway, I'm on this bus, and there's this grown man handling a bag with a bag in it of fish, right? Of like live fish. So he's like clearly gone to a pet store and bought some fish.
Right.
And I don't know where exactly he's going, but he's in New York getting on the Connecticut directed bus. So he's at least going to be riding for a while.
God, I hope this doesn't have the same ending as the bag of soda, man.
No.
That'd be a bummer.
No. But
then the guy with an umbrella gets on the bus.
No, but it's just funny to me because he had all these fish, different fish, by the way, that were going to be, I was assuming, in the same aquarium. And he was like an aisle over from me. And so I was just like casually looking in the bag as he was handling it because he kept adjusting them. Like, he kept like putting one that was at the bottom up at the top and like taking them out and putting them back in and stuff like that. And I was
taking what? Taking.
So there were like a bag of goldfish,
right?
A bag of the little bitty, whatever you call them. They got a little color to them, and they're like faster than goldfish, but they're much smaller.
Okay.
Let me see. I mean, I know you don't care about the actual type, but like it was like, imagine a goldfish,
right?
And then these little things that are just like, they usually have whole schools of them in some aquariums,
right? Yeah, couldn't tell you what they're called, but I think I know what you're talking about.
And then what I think was an algae eater because it was like a little long and had the like
flat mouth,
not just the flat mouth, the color.
A fish with no chin.
Yeah, fish with no chin, glass jawfish.
Just that flat neck.
The pattern on it was like an algae eater, and so he kept just taking the bags out and putting them on top of each other. And I was like,
like that was going to do anything.
I don't know if he was trying to keep them warm or cold. Like it was just him moving them around a lot.
I don't want any of them to feel superior to the others.
Yeah, I want them all to know that at any point in their life, I could change how they live. You ever buy fish just to play God?
I have a feeling that's why some people do, actually.
Yeah.
Same with plants. You just want to feel. You want to feel powerful.
Yeah, you want to watch something die in your apartment that you're allowed to kill.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not as grim as other pets.
You just walk by the plant like your days are numbered.
What's the thing? It's like I remember one time Jess was getting angry that one of her plants like kept doing bad, like, and she was doing everything right for it, and she's like, "This plant's gonna fucking die. I'm so disappointed." I say, "Don't they tell you to talk positively to the plant?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "If it would get its fucking shit together." I'm like, "No, but maybe that's what's killing it."
Yeah.
If they keep saying you should be positive to your plants, and you're meanwhile you're pouring water into it, just live, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you're really being like a step parent to this
Yeah,
plant.
exactly. Yeah, the plant knows you don't love it.
Yeah. You're just trying to
You're just doing your job.
You're just trying to get with its mom,
Yeah, I sat down with our cactus and I said, "You can call me Dad.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to replace your dad. Your dad cactus. Your dad tis."
Yeah. That's one of my favorites now that I'm like getting a bit older. I have friends who are dating people with kids for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And one of my favorites is
You ever date anybody that had a kid?
nah.
Okay, me neither.
Nah, but I've been told, this was not like, I wasn't privy to this conversation when it was happening, but I've been told one of our friends, not you and I say me and the person that told me the story, tried to bribe the kid and just tell him to tell his mom that they went to Disney World and had a great time and gave him $150.
Wow.
But in my head, I was like, you almost at Disney money.
Yeah.
That means you really just don't want to spend the time with them you almost had enough money for both of y'all to go.
You didn't want to get to know the kid.
Yeah. It's like, listen, you can go over the story with me and everything. I got 150 for you.
Yeah.
Just, tell her we had a great time. Tell her we hung out, whatever.
What happened? Did the kid keep up his end of the deal, or?
It seems like it.
Because if not, it'd be great too if the kid just took the money and then was like, "Guess what he just fucking did? Wants me to lie about going to Disneyland."
Yeah. It would be funnier if he took the money and was like, he hit me. He struck me.
Well, then she's like, "Well, so where's the money he gave you?" He's like, "Oh shoot, I must have lost it."
He must have hit me so hard that it flew out of my pockets.
Anyway, don't worry about all these Hot Wheels.
Yeah. Because it's also very hard to spend money as a little kid.
Especially that amount of money. You have nothing really. Once you buy a few toys, then I'm just like, okay, now I've got more money.
Imagine if you come home with like a full arms full box of Snickers and then just try to act normal.
I found it.
Yeah, I found this box. Fell off a truck, Mom.
Can we keep it? Yeah, it fell off a truck.
Fell off a Snickers truck, and they wouldn't want them all road rashed and everything.
This is gonna go to the discount store. I want these Snickers to have a good life.
Can I tell you when I was little and we used to go to the dollar store and stuff like that? Every once in a while they'd have like a brand name candy there.
Yeah,
for like way too cheap, and so other kids were getting excited in the aisle to check out, and I was always like, "What did y'all do to it?" Because it's only when I go to other stores, it's only 20 cents more.
they're all pre-melted.
Yeah, I was like, what's wrong with this?
Or we grave it was just like a mislabeling though. Oh, awesome, a Snorkers.
It's like, oh man, Mom, can you give me that Twiddlers?
I can't wait to eat this Malky Wax.
Yeah, wow, this chocolate is so spicy. This Herschel's bar does not taste good.
Give me a handful of Scuttles.
Yeah, Scuttles would probably be fire though.
Scuttles, I bet.
Yeah, Scuttles sounds like the people who lost the lawsuit to Skittles that actually came up with Skittles.
Yeah.
Like someone tried a Scuttle and they were like, I'll just take this home in my mouth without chewing. And then they just spit it out at home and try to figure out the recipe from there.
Right, yeah. A scuttle is made with real fruit. Yeah. It's actual fruit flavor.
Yeah, but that's too expensive. So they went with what? Titanium dioxide.
Some red 47 or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So those restaurant reviews.
Oh, okay. So it was just this restaurant review that made me laugh because it was to like southern seafood place, and they were complaining about the wait, which is a valid complaint. Like they were like, wait time was extra long.
God damn,
and
this is how fucking hot and melty my brain is right now. I'm like, what? Like the fish was too light? I literally was like, they were complaining about the weight. Like catfish supposed to be heavier or something. That's how fucking.
Maybe you do have heat stroke.
I think so.
Maybe that should be the title of this episode.
I think the name of this episode. I already thought the name of this episode probably should be Josh and Logan get heat stroke.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. You're the one that's all.
Nah, you said some shit earlier.
What did I say earlier?
I don't know.
What did I say earlier that I didn't mean? I stand by everything that I've said.
I've meant everything I've said, but you've also left out some words.
I don't know if I believe you.
All I could do was loud.
Yeah, but I would say that even if it was freezing cold in here. All I could do was loud.
Okay.
Yeah. You acted like you've never made fun of how I've said things before, and I'm only talking like this now.
I know.
If I didn't have my history, then yes, I'd be like, you should call an ambulance. But because I talk the way that I talk, this is par for the course. So, yeah, they were complaining. Do you need me to slap the back?
No.
Oh.
I choked on water now. That I think definitely was more like the angle I'm sitting at. This is not a comfortable angle to drink.
Yeah, we should do a supercut of everything in here that's unusable.
I think that'll be the episode, bud.
No, we should do, because I think that honestly we've got some great stuff, and then we have stuff where I'm like, are you like just now where I'm like, it looks bad on camera because I don't look concerned enough. I can.
Oh, you're just trying to protect you.
I'm not talking. I'm telling you to put it out. I'm not trying to protect me at all. I'm just saying in the camera, I'm sure I don't look concerned enough because I wasn't sure what was happening. I didn't realize you were choking. I just thought
it wasn't choking. It just went down, the wrong tube or whatever. Just kind of.
People say that, but are there really multiple tubes in your throat?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You were always like, went down the wrong hole.
It's whatever it is that people say when that happens. I think I swallowed like a weird air bubble because, again, I'm like, I rarely drink reclined. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if you were like one of those people that needed the home health care and they sat you like this, it would be to kill you.
Yeah.
It'd be you taking a sip of water and just like,
because even right there, I just took a sip and I realized how much like air is in your mouth when you're trying to like get a drink like this. Anyway, the catfish was too heavy.
I mean, it's barely worth doing.
No, anymore. Come on, we're here.
So the catfish was like, the catfish was fine. The wait time to get in was very long, and then the wait time once they sat down was just as long. So they were like, "Well, why aren't we still like? What's the point of even waiting inside if the wait time's going to be as long as we were waiting to get in the restaurant?" Right. And then the food came. The catfish was good, but every other side was insane. Was like their mac and cheese was like. Clearly, some of the macaroni had been cooked all the way, so it was crunchy as hell. And it just made me laugh.
That's cruncheroni. Just you're good. Yeah. Don't worry. It's a new cool thing we're doing.
And this person said in the review that they chipped a tooth on the mac and cheese.
Oh, damn!
Like they broke a crown in the. Because the mac and cheese was like they it's not like they ate the whole thing. Once they realized that it wasn't like a freak thing, they were like, "Oh, I'm done with it." But then they took. Obviously, you take a spoonful. You're very hungry. You've been waiting for an hour and a half or more, and so as soon as you get your food comes, you start digging in.
Yeah,
and they bit into this like very undercooked mac and cheese and just
That's great.
lost a little bit of
Yeah.
dental work with it.
We thought you ordered it rare.
Yeah, we thought you really wanted a challenge in your mac and cheese.
Yeah.
We weren't sure if you were one of these absolute wimps.
Yeah,
who
are you-
likes it cooked all the way.
Yeah, are you on a
through.
raw diet? We thought you were on a raw diet, and that's
Yeah.
what this. We just give it to you. We just straight from the box.
Yeah, that's why it is piping hot cheese with not even cooked macaroni.
Oh man,
Yeah.
did you have another one, or was that the whole?
No, I mean that was it.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I liked it. Then I think we, as much as we didn't get to the review, it took up the perfect amount of time. I think because now we can open the.
And you talking about how we both have heat stroke.
I didn't say I didn't have it worse.
All right. It just seems like between the two of us, if one of us needed attention, it should be you first.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Don't help him.
No, I'm just saying, if we Uber to the hospital right now, I'd be like, hey, my friend is not doing well. And the simple fact I was able to explain that to you means I'm fine.
I am not disagreeing with you. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying we both need an IV, I think.
What have I done?
I like that you're
fit as a fiddle.
I like that we spent most of this
I'm
both
so healthy.
complaining about how hot and uncomfortable we are, and now you're pretending like everything's great for you.
I'm not saying everything is great. Almost everything is great.
All right, well, let's open up the MUBA. Let's see here. I've got a couple picked out. This is from Buko, who is it Buko or Buko? Because spelt. I'm wondering if am I supposed to put more stank?
I think it's Buko.
Okay, I just can't tell if it's like because like it looks like the word book. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like Buko is different than Buko. You know what I mean? I'm just wondering.
No, I'm with you. I just think you said it right the second time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what I just wanted your opinion.
What I like about this already is that we've pronounced their name several different ways, and then
We had to have got it right.
at some point, and now the way they open up is funny because it's lots of iterations of our name.
That is true. I didn't even see that. Yeah, this one is titled Advice, and it says, Hey, Jogan, Lashi, J-Lo, Squeaks in Toontown. This is Buko. I wanted to suggest that y'all start an advice segment on the podcast. I think you did really well when giving advice during the mailbag last week and think that should be a regular thing you do. That was, I think, off of the relationship advice we had gotten into. Also, Josh, get Logan's face tattooed on you, or y'all can get matching / complimentary tattoos. Like Logan gets a little man holding specs, and Josh has a little man that's squinting and tripping. I just got my first tattoos less than a week ago, and they aren't that sore. Now, that part just seemed like a brag.
Yeah, that does seem like I just don't feel pain like some of y'all.
Yeah, I'm doing great, but you two are scared of needles. Also, if we're asking for advice, I don't really know how to flirt sober, and I want the lady that did my tattoo to be my girlfriend. She's very pretty and really interesting. Kind of older than me, but I don't really be dating people my age, which I think is okay because I'm an adultish woman. I'm 21, so you don't think I'm a minor. That is probably good clarification to put in there. Because if you were like, I'm 15, I'd be like, oh, don't worry, you're gonna strike out with everyone for the next 10 years.
Should leave her alone.
How do I start talking to her? Because I have her number. Thanks for the podcast. I love it. And you guys, my mom loves it when you aren't swearing. Sorry, that's mostly at me. My friends love it because we have the same sense of humor. And I've put a few ex-boyfriends on game. Thanks for being the sun in my stormy weather. Kind regards, Buko. P.S. Sorry this email is so long. Not that long. I think you did great. I think you nailed it with the email length. So if I could tackle the question first real quick.
Okay.
To me, it really depends on one caveat. It depends. Do you have their number because they gave it to you? Or do you have it because they do your tattoos? Because if it's just because like they're the person you hit up for like, oh, here's what I'm thinking of getting, lining up the appointment time. Because I know people who have that. They just have like their tattooist number. So if you have it strictly from that business transaction, you may want to leave this person alone unless you have a personal relationship with them. If they gave you your number because you guys like hit it off and then exchange numbers to like talk, then that just changes it. Then you are open to a conversation, I think. But I think otherwise it's a little bit of like, trying to hit on a waitress because they're being nice to you. And it's like, but that's part of their job,
Yeah, I slightly disagree because I think that if you have their number in a professional setting,
right,
but then you strike up a conversation that's light, so not even directly getting to.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's undoable. I'm saying it just changes how you do it.
I think that if you can bring up light conversation that's not tattoo related while having their number, no matter which way you got it, then there might be the possibility for a coffee or a lunch or a chat.
Right.
I think that, it's kind of like when you're in school and especially when you go to a small school or when you're in a camp or something and they just give everyone's numbers to everybody. That's not the same as having the person's number.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like if you go to camp with someone and you're all camp counselors and so you have all the other camp counselors' numbers, that's not you having her number.
Yeah.
Because she won't know that you're calling because it's you when you call. But if in any form you were given the number specifically and then you use that number to have a light chat that's not in any way romantic or about meeting up, just like, hey, I thought this thing was funny, something like that. I think if that is reciprocated, then now you can see an open door potentially,
right,
for a meetup that is lunch. I think any approach that takes it slow is kind of fair and leads to no one being uncomfortable. And then also, if you're talking about how to approach people, hit on people sober, I would say that, especially since this is your tattoo artist. So this is her tattoo artist?
I believe so.
Okay. So this being her tattoo artist, you just roll up and you're like, hey, baby girl, you already been sticking it in me.
Jesus Christ.
What? This entire time.
Don't say that. Don't say that to them.
It's nothing you haven't seen. All right. We would just be doing what you do, but a little slower.
You've already been in me and causing me pain. We basically married.
Yeah. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
So read to me again the part hitting on people sober. What else was that?
All right. So I don't really know how to flirt sober, and I want the lady that did my tattoo to be my girlfriend.
Okay.
She's very pretty and really interesting, a little bit older. How do I start talking to her because I have her number? And again, I think if she gave you the number because you guys were like chatting and exchange numbers for even whether dating and or just a friendship, then I think you're open to just, friendly conversation.
So my thing as well, when it comes to approaching people sober, I think that people who need to do it slightly tipsy or with like a little bit of that liquid courage are forgetting and overthinking that these are just people moving through the world like you. So I understand the intimidation because I've had to approach anyone that I've ever approached sober. I've had to ask anyone out that I've ever asked out sober. So I get that there's a little bit of a fear of rejection, and then there's a fear of embarrassment. But on the other side of that thing, even if it were to happen, is just you knowing where you stand now, which is better than wondering and hoping and overthinking and everything.
Yeah.
I think that you also can point to any person, and if you ask them the amount of times in life that they've been horribly, humiliatingly rejected, they're always lower than you would think. So we spend our entire lives trying to avoid any of them happening. But then when you really look at someone just taking you to task for asking them out, I'm not saying that never happens. I'm just saying those things are so rare. Like any decent person that you would want to be with could treat you in a way that, oh, okay, maybe they're not into it, but at least I know now.
Yeah.
The fear that we have about approaching people or flirting or like being our intentions being misrepresented always, through our imagination, take such a worse turn than they usually do in real life.
Well, I think it's because too the hardest part about approaching sober, and I think this is why a lot of people like to do it with liquid courage, because it does literally give you that like confidence, because one of the hardest things is being confident in yourself, and that's what it always takes, is like, what is the part of you you're most confident in, the most part of your sense of humor that you're like, I think I'm actually funny in this way, or blah blah. It takes a long time, any of us, even us as comedians, takes a long time before you feel like really comfortable just being yourself in the world. And that's why I think a lot of people like having that liquid courage, because it kills some of those. Not so much that it gives you courage, it just stops some of your, I don't know, practical thoughts of maybe about being too too much. You know what I mean? I think is more what it is. So it's like, and I know especially like 21, like, not saying you don't know who you are, but that's a tough age too, to sometimes, because you're still just kind of acclimating yourself to like out on my own adult life. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever parts about your personality that you're just like, and you might initially be like, I don't like my personality. That's fine. Get past that thought. What are the things about you think are the most appealing? Like for me, it was always like, you know what? I do know I'm funny. I know not everyone finds me funny, but I do know I am funny, and I can lead with that and be confident in my sense of humor. Not trying to be jokey all the time, but being confident in my sense of humor and be like, well, if they don't like it, then they're not going to like me. And while that might hurt sometimes, that was always enough for me to be like, oh, well, then I won't pursue this person anymore because they don't really get what I'm talking about. Doesn't mean they're dumb or anything. Just means like this will be a hard relationship if I'm constantly making these jokes and they don't like them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it's that high risk, high reward kind of situation.
Yeah. So I would even say that sometimes when I've just seen from the outside looking in that sometimes even when people try to flirt while they're not sober, they're not really flirting the way they think they're flirting as well. So it's not like you can ever, it's best to take these things head on emotionally, because it's not like you can cheat the system in a sense. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've known guys who had just trouble around women. And so then they like get a little tipsy because they were nervous about asking someone out.
Right.
And then they ask them out way too close to their face. And now you have a different issue. So it's like being comfortable with yourself and settling into yourself that's great advice, because I think that that's the best way that in any situation you start to know and feel worthy of someone else's time and attention.
Yeah.
Which is the main point of being confident in approaching a person.
Yeah. And if you shoot your shot and it doesn't really work out, they do your tattoos, so now you can just easily sidestep this into a business transaction. Be like, oh, hey, I was thinking about getting this. You know what I mean? If it's like, they didn't really take the bait or whatever, I'm going to, all right, let me not take the bait. That's the wrong wording. But you know what I mean? Like, they don't seem to be going for this. Like, oh, hey, I'm thinking about maybe getting another one. Blah, blah, blah. What do you think about this? Is this something you could do? Mm-hmm. And then the conversation can go back to tattoos, and then you save a little ego there. Also, all of life is like practice for other points in life, and so just facing that sort of quote unquote fear, but like facing that aspect of fear and asking that person out is better practice even for the next time you might have to do it, or and the also, next time you might have to do it. And also, if she's an attractive tattoo artist, she has been hit on probably so many times in way worse ways. So whatever you do probably won't be the worst.
I can see that. Yeah.
There's definitely, probably hardcore like bros who've really tried to be like, yeah, and hey, since you're down there, that kind of shit. It'll be those kind of assholes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I just think that practice thing is huge, because I think that eventually you get to a point where you feel comfortable, even if it's just through repetition of like shooting your shot.
Yeah. So we hope that helped, and hope it all made sense.
Wouldn't it be wild if they wrote in the next week like, hey, you guys probably shouldn't give advice anymore. Like that probably should be an aspect of the show.
Hey, we weren't asking for it, so it's all good. This next one here, this is from Calliope, and can I be honest with you, even non-heat stroke brain, I know what that word is. I know what the word Calliope is. It always reads wrong in my brain the first time. It always registers as Calliope the first time, and I go, that's not a word, and like I have to do that every time I read that. That's just a little fun fact about me. But anyway, this one is called Thank You. Hi, Toontown and Squeaks. First off, hi, my name is Calliope, and my pronouns are he, they. These past couple years, I've been struggling with coming to terms with my gender and sexuality, and my family being very openly against the LGBTQ plus community hasn't helped any, for obvious reasons. I found comfort in comedians, and Josh became one of my favorites very quickly, and I started showing his videos to all of my friends. When I found out about this podcast a few months ago, I can say without a doubt that I felt much better. High school has been tough, and I'm moving to a whole new state soon, but you guys have helped me deal with it all. Anyways, thank you both for helping me through this weird time in my life. When I listen, I don't worry about any of my issues, and I think that's neat. That's all. Thank you both, from Calliope. Oh, also, 10 million jangles out of 3. I know it's not the most jangles we've gotten, but I think
by ratio.
I think by ratio it is.
It might be, yeah.
10 million out of 3, I think, is way more than the other larger groups of jangles we have received, I think, actually. I think ratio-wise, you're winning in that one, Calliope.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that. Sorry, things have been tough, and I know I've moved to new places, especially when I was even when I was younger than high school. And it is there's nerves to that, but like the one good thing is like but you get to be a fresh person to all of them. It's like you get to truly make a first impression, and especially being in high school, you're old enough to kind of know what that's going to be. Because I did it when I was in like 3rd grade, and that's like look back now, I'm like maybe I was too much, I was in 3rd grade. I wasn't really thinking about it.
Yeah, I feel like as well moving to a new place and everything that you're going through. I mean, I'm really glad that the podcast and comedy are an outlet. Like I know that they're always an outlet for me when I'm feeling any particular way. I think that comedy is such a great, like, it's not even just laugh as a distraction. It's like laugh as a means to break down an idea. And so, I really hope that the podcast continues to be that for you, and that things get better quicker, because they get better, period. But
right.
Sometimes while you're waiting for them to get better, it can feel longer than the process is. Like I think back to high school, and high school to college was such a great transition for me, where all the qualities that I felt like made me self-conscious in high school, all of a sudden were all the things that propelled me in my like college years.
Yeah.
And so I think finding out more about yourself, and knowing the people around you and how they fit into how you see your future are all very powerful tools in the journey to self-actualization, because there are some people that, they're not going to fit in to what you see for yourself